Good morning, welcome to 59 Minutes. My name is Levi Kones, and this particular show, it's Monday. You know, we are going to be talking about the political happenings of the week. And to join me in doing that is Pan-African Forum Chairman, Dr. David Matsanga. Welcome, Dr.
Thank you very much for welcoming me this morning. This is a great show for me, a great thing for me, for Africa. And I'm very happy to join you this morning, Monday morning, 10th May, the year of our Lord, 2021.
Right, I see you're coming from a mobile van.
Yes.
With a press jacket.
It's a mobile, this mobile van, I have about 7 of these mobile vans in London, in Uganda, in Rwanda.
Yeah, what's going on where are you now?
In London, yes. But this is specifically for, I can go anywhere to 10 Downing Street and put my van and do my show. Anytime, every equipment is here. I can go anywhere, the Queen's Palace. I can go every place and do, as you know, I am an international journalist with International Journalists Association. I'm a member of the Commonwealth Association, one of the editors of the Commonwealth Association, Journalists Association in London, the London chapter, and actually I'm one of the most veteran, one of the toughest investigative journalists there, a member of Chatham House, a member of ICII, International Institute of Strategic Studies in London, a member of several organizations. Therefore, I use at times when you are not at home, this is what we use as news. And I'm transmitting directly to you in Nairobi.
Right, Dr. So just to start us off, in terms of the political happenings of the week, it's been a big week politically. The BBI sailed through in the National Assembly, is going to the Senate before it heads to the people. It looked 2 weeks ago that with the BBI, that there was a difficulty in getting it out there. It looked like it was dead in the water. What happened, Dr. that changed things so dramatically?
I told you in the last 2 shows, I told you BBI will pass. I told you there is no way to stop BBI. I told you the MPs will pass the bill. Because this is let's get it very clear. This is an omnibus bill where you can pass and implement. During implementation is where you query quite a lot of things that were not very right. Orengo was in that parliament when the 2010 constitution was passed. He's one of those people who begged that let's pass this bill, then come back to amend this part, this constitution. Constitutional lawyers in Kenya, like Orengo and Otiende and others who have doubts. A constitution is the people's document. They have a right to say we don't want it. There are stages for refusing it. You can't stick on one stage only. What was Orengo and Otiende wanting to amend, which cannot be amended later on, before implementation? Was there anything wrong? I told you it will pass, and it passed heavily. And this is a warning shot for those who mess up with that parliament. It can mess up with you. And you know where I'm telling you so. Yeah. Why I'm saying
and I'm coming there. And I'm coming there. We saw Senator Orengo talk about his conscience being a very important factor for him. And it seemed as if for some, in fact, if you look at the newspapers of Sunday, they talk about Raila Odinga and the president as having bulldozed their members to get this thing, through. To some degree, it looks like, the issue of democracy was not considered under people's opinions. What would you say to that in terms of just making sure that it went through with no with no opposition to it. And, you know, have we stifled voices in the process of getting the BBI through?
First of all, I just want to tell you that there is nothing that you can do to stop what has gone through. Orengo's cry is useless at this hour. Orengo was one of those people when Raila had finished shaking hands with His Excellency President Uhuru Kenyatta. He met Raila. Orengo has been in the background on the legal team of ODM. He has been seeing these documents. He knows that a parliament, the people can say we want 70 constituencies. I don't know whether you are hearing me.
I'm hearing you very well.
The people can say we want 72 constituencies. But it is not the parliament to cut those constituencies. It is the electoral commission to do so. So let's pass the bill. You pass the bill first.
You pass the bill first, then what?
Which directs the chairman do. You pass the bill first, then you do the constituencies. You talk about the constituencies later. There was no need of haggling over this. It was not necessary.
Yeah, let me ask
you hear me?
When you say let's pass the bill first, it sounds as if it's reminiscent of what happened in 2010 when we said let's pass the constitution as it is first, and then we see whether we can make some changes to it. Still, there's a big, huge outcry on especially the number of constituencies we are going to add to the existing number for representation of the people. Don't you feel like we are, really saddling the horse with too much on its back in terms of, I mean, look at, you're a Pan-African, expert. You've been around the world, you're even in the UK, you can see the way they do their systems there and even other places. Don't you feel that Africans, and in Kenya for this instance, that we are too overrepresented with this particular section of the BBI?
The democracy of the United Kingdom has taken 1,800 years. When they began, they had lots of representation of constituencies. Even one clan wanted to be represented alone, started the history of Britain. It went on reducing until today. Some areas are represented by a number of houses. So there is nothing wrong with proper representation because we can't compare ourselves to America. America has got the means. You can fly one territory by plane and deliver something and come back. But how can you fly a huge constituency? Like you need to have representation. Unless you are telling me you are going to be represented by animals, you need representation by human beings. And the constituencies are important in representation.
It's true, but the thing is, when it goes to Mwananchi, Mwananchi is feeling, look, already we have 349 MPs for 47 million Kenyans. I mean, if you look at countries like the US, 50 states, 100 senators, and each state is just about the size of this country. And here we are about to have 94 senators. We are about to have, almost 600 MPs and counting. As it is, some of them cannot even contribute in parliament because of the sheer numbers. It's impossible even for any speaker of any parliament to actually name all these MPs today. So are we reaching a place where we have just thrown in the issue of representation, maybe at the expense of politics because we just want to appease people politically with the BBI?
First of all, let me tell you that it is not very important for a human being to look at what is going to be the cost. Let's look at what will that particular item serve you. we are looking at devolution. We have brought devolution now to the ward. What is wrong with that? What is wrong with devolution going to the ward? Instead of the ward chairman, the ward representative looking at the governor to give him money handouts. He has his money, which is there. Is that bad? Instead of having more, even the IEBC can look at and recommend to the parliament for further extension. That if the IEBC finds out, it can even recommend for 100 constituencies. What is wrong with that? But let's pass the bill first. Let there be mandate for the IEBC to do the job. IEBC wake up and say, we are doing it. Where will you get the money? It is the parliament that approves the money. If the parliament has not approved the constituencies, how will you get the money? You answer me. How? So they must tell you, we need 72 constituencies. Now you go and work on how these constituencies will look like. And that is the point. That's why the MPs looked at it. They said the constituency issue cannot bog us down. Let's go ahead. Let's be under Article 257 of the Kenyan Constitution, which is very clear. Anybody who has gone to school like me, in a better school in London, I want to tell you the truth. I don't want to brag. I went to one of those schools. I'm not like a David Ndii, who went to Oxford but doesn't use his Oxford tactics. I used the tactics that I went to Kubi University in the United Kingdom. I want to thank Her Majesty for having educated me to this level. So I want to tell you, anyone who wants a country to develop, wait until the bill comes back after it has been signed. Then you start implementing it by discussing the obnoxious issues that you did not like in the bill.
Okay, let's talk about something else that happened at Parliament. That surprised some people.
Lev, wait.
Yes.
That is how constitutionalism is. You don't just jump and stop a bill. Then what is the use of you being in the parliament by stopping a bill? You should now wait for the bill to come and disagree and amend and change. You have the powers to amend and change. Not before at section 10 and 11. Section 10 to the president. Yours is not to touch it. Why do you make a law and break it, then touch it? Why do you touch it?
I hear you.
257 says no.
Let me ask you, Daktari, something else that happened that was quite interesting was the fact that there were members of the so-called Hustler Brigade, the Tanga Tanga team, that did not vote, no. We're talking about people like Kimani Ngunjiri. We are talking about people like Faisal from Msambweni. We're talking about the Wajir West MP as well. A couple of MPs, another one even from Bomachoge, who are known to be allies of the Deputy President and were expected to vote,
I want to hear you.
No, but ended up voting yes. What were your thoughts about that?
I want to hear you. The people who voted no, who are in Ruto's camp, I have told His Excellency, the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya, to keep his money for his children. I have been in politics for almost 45 years. I am now 65 years old. And I've been playing politics for 40 years. I've seen 10 governments in Uganda overthrown, including the current one coming to power. I know what politics is. There are very few honest people in politics. And the politics is timing. William Samoei Ruto, my advice is keep your money. because you are going to be shocked. You will be shocked unless you have a gold mine where you dig this money and you have no pain. But if I were you, I would keep my money and work with other people, work with the president. Let's change the country without dishing out money, who have shown you that they can eat your money and disappear, and you'll have nothing to say. Look at Ngunjiri Shimani. He told you the reason, and that's how they are going to vote. I hope are you hearing me, sir?
Very well.
That is how they are going to vote. Ruto, Jupiter President Ruto, wherever you are, I am just telling you as a friend, Bwana, that is how they will vote. And you will have a shocker, a big shocker. The voting pattern of Kenya relies on the sentiments. Have you heard the sentiments of Ngunjiri?
Yes.
Kimani Ngunjiri, what did he tell you? That if I vote no, what will I go back to tell the mountain people? That I denied you constituencies and money.
That's a good question right there.
No, he refused. Didn't. Why doesn't Ruto have a brain to watch? Let him give sorry, but they have no sincerity. It's not there. If you look at the vote on Saturday, on Friday, on Thursday.
Yeah. Maybe as Daktari, we seem to not be having a very good connection. I don't know what's happening. Hello, Daktari? I think let's just take a quick break on that note and then come back and revamp this particular connection and continue with Dr. David Matsanga, Pan-African Forum Chairman, who we are discussing with on these pertinent issues, the political happenings of the week. Don't go away. We'll be right back in just a moment.